Hey, Shalom Akim, your brother Raza Allah from GMS London Camp. First and foremost, want to give praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone, and blessings unto the hopeful and sincere elect, waiting for, the return of our Lord and Savior Yahweh Shai, Yahweh the One, the day of the Lord, the year of our Lord's will. Sooner rather than later, we should definitely on the horizons, because Esau, Edom, man, they're plotting and planning more mischief, more mayhem to take place, all the Abchaos scenarios. And over here in the UK, they just announced that there's going to be emergency planned blackouts, in the dead of winter, said mid-January and February, man. And they actually came out on the news today and said it earlier on, and I caught it on my way out, on my way to work. And they said, it could last up to 4 days of these electrical grids being shut down, basically. As you can see in the poster here, it says power outage. And that's all orchestrated, man. So Esau, that's another order Abchaos scenario for people to start losing it. People dropping dead in their houses, freezing to death, let alone 1 or 2 days, but it could even be more than 4 days. They're saying 4 days there could be a power outage, no gas and electricity in the major cities, man. So Esau's plotting for all that chaos to break loose. And why? Because he's the devil that the Bible speaks of first and foremost, and it's prophesied in the scriptures, man, that the Lord was going to make this devil do this, and he was going to do these endeavors, man, because he's got the New World Order. He's itching to get his New World Order on and cracking, so to speak. So this is part of the Great Reset and the changing of the guard, so to speak, or rearranging this modern day, the industry that we're in right now, and the fourth industrial revolution. This is it, man. This is part of the chaos that's gone brew. Amongst other things, man, like famine, food shortages, or more food shortages, should I say. But in the dead of winter, man, with no gas and electricity, people will lose their minds, man, because they ain't gonna be able to, heat their houses. They ain't gonna be able to cook no food. They ain't even be able to take a good, clean, hot shower, or even boil some water, man. In the dead of winter as well, the temperature's gonna be dropping to some different type of minuses out here, especially. And I've been hearing that there's gonna be like the worst winter over here in Europe than previous years. So things are gonna go from bad to traumatic, and basically devastating, man. These are devastating times, man, but it's all through the power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. This is the necessary evil upon this wicked kingdom, man, because the Lord said he pours out these things as vengeance. Famine, pestilences, death and destruction are all sent as vengeance, man, from the Lord. So this power outage is not no joke, man. I expect a lot of, especially elderly people, they're probably going to be freezing to death in their house, stuck to the chair, so to speak. Gonna be like Antarctica out here in the UK very soon. But anyway, it's only 1 or 2 precepts to close out. Make this too long. It's 2nd Ezra 6:22. And suddenly some of the sown places, the pear unsown, the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. Yeah, and Esau's been doing that throughout the year. And it's gonna get worse with the food shortages and all that. The famdemic. That's definitely on the horizons. And people gonna be losing their minds just for that alone. But especially if they ain't got no gas and electricity in their house, you might as well, live on the street, man. You might as well call yourself homeless, because you're just gonna be in your house freezing to death. It says, and the trumpet shall give a sound. It says, when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid. Yeah, because why? Because we're in the time of judgment, man. This is the time when Yahweh Hashem Yahushua said he's going to visit the earth which he made. Verse 24 says, and at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies. And, them being food shortages, them cutting off the electrical grids, being, no lights in the cities, especially for these heifers out here, these women that are out here, They want to walk around scantily clad. You're gonna be meat. You're gonna be looking like primetime meat for these goons out here, man. You know, and don't forget over there in America, they said in January they're gonna be releasing prison inmates. I think it was Illinois, Chicago. It said from January 2023, which is basically definitely a hot year for judgment. They said they're gonna be releasing prison inmates, man. So there's those inmates, you know, imagine them getting released in the midst of a blackout. It's going to be like purge season, man. They're going to be out there ravishing women, you know, breaking into people's houses, having their way, you know, getting away with murder, basically. And that's the times that we're in, you know, because the Lord, this place is going to go from civilized to uncivilized real quick. As I always say, man, because there's nothing left for this place other than that nuclear fire, man. You know, this place was destined for destruction in the first place. You know, it's the 8th head that came up out of the 7 that was made to go into perdition, as prophesied in Revelation, the 17th chapter. It says, "And the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell in, with those that dwell therein. It says, the springs of the fountain shall stand still, and for 3 hours they shall not run." So this famine is, you know, definitely on the horizons. Blackouts, you know, anarchy in the streets, man. You know, these women are gonna be out here wailing like banshees, like Apostle Elder Gabar always used to say. They'll be out here wailing like a damn Irish banshee for real. When there's power cuts and, you know, people starving to death, freezing to death, you know, fighting to survive, you know. And who these heifers gonna turn to? The men. More importantly, they're gonna be trying to look for a man of the Lord, you know, because the average man, he's gonna be bugging the hell out as well. They ain't even gonna know how to deal with the situation because they're ill prepared for the times that we're on the earth, because, you know, this is the time of the Lord's judgment, man. And the only ones that's going to be stable, sober-minded in that time, and the times to come, you know, is the men of the Lord, because the wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. So yeah, man, this is definitely a time of anarchy in the streets, you know. So 2 Ezra 15 and 15. It says, "For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and with swords in their hands." The modern day sword is the gun. Over here in the UK, they actually use knives. You know, they really have guns like that. You know, that magnitude is more like, you know, knives and machetes. So, you know, there's weapons to kill anyway, you know, weapons that can injure you, put you to death. It says, "For there shall be a sedition among men, and invading one another, and they shall not regard their kings nor princes." Yeah, let the electricity grid, the power grids go out, man, and you think people ain't going to be trying to hunt down these government officials and all that, start camping outside their residencies and all that. It's going to get political out here for real in these streets. For a lot of people, man, you know, people going to be wanting people's heads on a stick. Well, a lot of people are going to be dropping dead for real, man. You know, Esau wants that depopulation plan to kick in, you know, in gear, man, because, you know, the whole C19 didn't really do the job. It says, "They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." It says, "And a man shall desire to go into the city and shall not be able." Yeah, quarantine zones, man. City's going to be cordoned off. During a blackout, they're definitely going to be cordoned off. It says that because of their pride, yeah, you demons out here, you fucking deviants, well, that want to celebrate pride parades and festivals and all that. You're the ones the Lord's targeting, man, because you people are, you people are deviants, man. You're against the Lord's, word. You're against His scriptures. You're against His people, man. So you need to be persecuted. You need to be in the time of Jacob's trouble. You need to be catching the hell, especially for 2/3 as well, that are rebellious as hell. It says, "For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid." Yeah. So like I said, who are these women going to be running to or looking for? The men of the Lord, because it even says men shall be afraid. So your average gangbagger nigger in the ghetto, he going to be losing his mind, man. You know, he might freeze to death in his house, or get caught slipping in the pitch black dark in the streets, by some other goonies. It says, "A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Yeah, so this is the time of great tribulation, man. You know, and it's leading up to that, you know, more chaos brewing. You know, the time of Jacob's trouble is going to be like never a time on the earth. And situations like this, as you can hear, just hearing in the news in the background, they're talking about it just now on the Sky News network, you know, the blackouts. So this is some serious shit. And Esau's actually just telling people what he's going to do now. He's not even hiding it. He's actually just telling you in your face because, you know, the people know, they know that people can't do nothing about it. And this is all leading up to the time of Jacob's trouble anyway, man. So, you know, sayonara to this place, man. Fuck this place, man. The Babal, man. We want to get out of here. So if this is the necessary evil that needs to happen, let it happen, man. Let the chips fall where it may, man. No pun intended. But it says to spoil their goods and because of the lack of bread. Yeah. So what does that sound like? Purge season, man. It's time for purging, man. Tis the seasons, man. Tis the seasons for death. It says verse 20 says, behold, you know, so that's it. Yeah, man, so for great tribulation, man. So this is the time we're in. And we've been warning you tribes out here, man, and telling you, look, these are the times that we're coming into. Shit ain't gonna get better, it's gonna get far worse than you ever imagined. And you know, the 2/3 they don't want to hear, they don't want to attend to what we're saying. But it's only for the elect anyway, because the Lord said that, you know, the elect, they're the only ones that's gonna be delivered, the remnant, you know, and that includes the 1/3 of men, women, and children that are, you know, are part of the elect, man. You know, they're the only ones that's gonna be delivered, man. The rest that are, you know, are blinded, they're gonna be destroyed. They're gonna be out there, you know, panicking, panic buying, looting, shooting, and polluting, and get shot at, and then, you know, getting put in concentration camps and all sorts, man. You know, all hell is really gonna break loose on another level, man. But you know, as I said, this is just the, you know, the quiet before the storm, so to speak, over here in the UK, man. But it's dead of winter, man. Just expect the death toll to be in the big margins, man. You know, especially in January, mid-January, February, when it's dead cold out here, man. So call it the dead of winter. So it's definitely gonna be a dark winter, as Biden said. Anyway, with that, I'm gonna close out. Give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakodash, and Shalom to the elect.